This edition of Mac Voices is sponsored by PDF Pen and PDF Pen Pro by Smile, the essential PDF utility. Download free demos and find out more at smilesoftware.com. Welcome back to Mac Voices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, we have another one of our gift guide shows, but this is a particularly interesting gift guide show. This is going to be like the coaches and productivity corner with our guests this time because there's so many synergies going on here. I don't even know how to map them all out. You know the rules for our gift guide shows. This panel can't pick anything selected by a previous panel for this year. And, of course, there's always the challenge that they can't pick anything that somebody on this panel has picked in a previous round. So that way you're sure to get brand new gift guide ideas every time you tune in. So let's see who's here, and then we'll get to it. First up, I'm happy to have back Brittany Smith. Brittany, welcome. It's good to see you.
Thanks so much for having me.
I love it. I love it. Also here, Mr. Mike Schmitz. Mike, welcome.
Hey, thanks.
Good to have you. And Elle Newman is back with us as well. Elle, welcome.
Thanks, Chuck.
So, guys, this is the first time, I think, in a long time, if ever, I've got to go back and look, that we've had 50% male, 50% female. And I love that fact because I love seeing that women are more involved in tech. We just got to get more of you guys out there or get the ones that are out there comfortable to being on camera. So tell your friends. With that, let's get into the gift guide picks. So, Brittany, I'm going to keep the order on my screen just to make it easy for me. So, Brittany, you're first up. What are you going to kick us off with round one?
All right. I've been doing more video editing this year, and my computer, I only have a laptop, and it only has 500 gigabyte hard drive. And let's just say remembering to eject would not be a wise course of action for extra space. So I've been getting these low profile extra flash storage. So it just sort of sits right on the edge. So as long as I don't set the computer in my bag that way, I can keep them in. These are from SanDisk. Don't get the PNYs because they were so slow. I wanted to chuck them out the train window. But the SanDisk ones have been great, and so I can keep a project located just on that drive. The one is 256, one is 128. So I can swap projects if I need to, and it's been awesome.
So those are from SanDisk. I don't think I've seen anything quite like those, and that's more than enough space to keep a lot of projects.
Well, the yoga one got huge, but my smaller projects I could fit. Yeah, I've got probably 10 on this drive that I can just swap between.
Wow. That's very nice. That's very nice. Good pick. Good pick right out of the box.
Thanks.
Mike, what do you have?
Well, I was looking through the list of the previous gifts, and I saw the new 16-inch MacBook Pro on there. Whoever gets that is getting a pretty awesome Christmas gift. But if you are getting any sort of new Mac this year, or someone you know is getting a new Mac this year, you need to have good software to run on it, which is why I'm going to pick the SetApp gift card subscription. SetApp is a phenomenal service. I kind of can't believe all of the awesome applications that you can get for the standard subscription is $10 a month. It's got a bunch of my favorites, Ulysses, which I use every single day for writing, which interestingly, if you bought just Ulysses, that's a $5 a month subscription, but it's included with SetApp along with MyNode and To-Do and BusyCal and like 160 other really quality applications. So if you were to get a Mac and just sign up for SetApp, you probably could get by without having to buy any other software. And I think that this is something for somebody who maybe is new to the Mac and they don't even really know where to start in terms of finding some good applications to take advantage of the Mac hardware, that this is a phenomenal gift.
Okay, Mike, you draw first blood because that was on my list and you just took it. So Mike laughs with an evil laugh. But I agree with you. I mean, this is something that I've thoroughly enjoyed, and they keep adding great apps, but they don't just add any apps. They vet them so that they are, as you said, they're doing really great apps. Right. And so to buy any 3 or 4 of these would probably cover your SetApp subscription for a year. Yeah, good pick. And also, I'm sure you know it, but they also do a great job of supporting the developers.
Yes.
So that the developers are getting paid for being part of the SetApp program, and not just it's just not one of those bundle discounts that you get 35 programs, only one of which you might be interested in, and everybody else kind of gets shafted.
Yep. And so I'll also throw out there, because when I first signed up for SetApp, I kind of did to kind of see where it would go. But a lot of the apps that were there, I had purchased previously. And so I have copies of a lot of the applications standalone that are in SetApp. And if you find yourself in that situation, use the SetApp version, because the developers get paid based on how many people use it.
Right. And that's and as you said, they get paid based on how many people use it, not the fact that people have subscribed to SetApp. So it's a very merit-based kind of thing, that if you produce a really great app and people are using it, you're getting more of the share of let's say Mike's subscription. It's not just $10 and it's split 160 ways. So that's another reason. I mean, it's really well thought out.
Yeah, and it's not the kind of thing where they launched it and maybe it's going to stick around, maybe it's not. At this point, it's been around for almost 3 years. So their business model is kind of proven by the fact that they keep getting really quality apps that are added to it all the time. So I would have no hesitation signing up for it.
Yeah, agreed. And I've noticed that I need to pay more attention to it, simply because I read about an app on the website you work with or other websites, and it's like, yeah, that might be interesting to try. And then I realize it's in SetApp. I've already got it sitting there just waiting for me. So yeah, good pick. All right, Elle, first round. What do you have?
All right. So this is for folks that are either maybe transitioning from more of an analog system into taking notes and keeping track of things online or with apps. And it is my favorite notebook that I was going to organize before, but I just didn't get to it. But I love these disc style notebooks. And you can get them either from a company called Arc or Tool. And all of it's interchangeable, so it doesn't matter. You can just see which patterns you like best. But what is so great about it, especially for folks that their use of notebooks like mine are always changing, because sometimes I start doing something on an app and then I switch back to taking it longhand, is you can organize it differently. And all of these things, whether it's organizers or pieces of paper, come out. This is not the greatest demonstration. The company is probably going to get a hold of me afterwards and say, please stop please stop showing people your messy notebook. And what I really love is, so like I could plan a class for one class that I was teaching here. Like I could plan a early morning yoga class here in Winona and decide that I was going to do the same class for other yogis in rural Minnesota, and take it out, put it someplace else in the notebook, and put it back in. So I am and was a big notebook person, but I picked this because I've had this for years now, and I always go back to it. So if you know folks that are notebook people, or they're still just trying to figure out what to balance, like what is going to go in my phone, what's going to go on my computer, and what am I going to write longhand, this kind of thing I think is really awesome. And for those of us that already have them, more is always better. So don't hesitate to give a different size or more replacement paper, or it's really the gift that'll give you more gifts throughout the following years.
That sounds like a hint.
Yeah, so most of my picks are going to be hints. Sorry about that, guys.
So, Mike, you and I have talked about analog versus digital plenty of times. How do you feel about this particular solution?
I like it. I have a notebook on my list. See if I get it picked. But I actually have been taking my digital, how I plan my day, and transferring it to paper at the beginning of my day. And I find just the act of writing it down. I got one of those fancy fountain pens David Sparks got to me. And I find a lot of clarity from doing that. I've been doing that for a couple of months now, and I don't think I'm going back to just using the digital solution. I'm all in favor of your analog pick, Elle.
Yeah. So I should warn you guys, I was told it was okay that my picks weren't tech. So
Sure.
Don't be shocked when they're not.
I only had one tech pick.
Yeah, but there's also, there's a productivity theme here, and I was only partially joking, with Brittany and Elle both being coaches of different kinds, and Mike being a productivity guru. There is that overriding theme here.
Aspirational guru.
Aspirational. Okay, well, I was giving you credit, Mike.
Yeah.
Good pick, Elle. Thank you. Yeah, I find myself, I haven't adopted that, although I kind of like the idea of being able to take in and put in and take out. I may have to look at those myself.
Yeah, traditional notebooks, like I'll warn clients off. I do sometimes actually recommend they go analog depending on their personality, but yeah, not having to do the binder open thing is a game changer. It makes it possible instead of a thing you procrastinate.
Yeah. And my stuff is, it's always bordering on chaos, but not because I don't like to organize things, but because I always want them organized in a new way.
Good pick. Well, I guess I'm going to go tech and round out the first round here, simply because on previous juries, we've had Disney Plus picked, we've had Apple TV Plus picked, we've discussed Netflix, but nobody's really talking about how you get some of these services. So I'm going to tell you to get an Apple TV 4K. First of all, it opens up a whole different world of digital content for you, but it's still, with all the detractors that are out there that seem to just dislike things that Apple does, I still think it's the best set-top experience that I have. I have a TCL TV that has the Roku interface, and it's okay, and take nothing away from it. It has some advantages. But the Apple TV interface just feels so rich and comforting, and I find it really easy to use. So if you haven't obtained any kind of set-top box, or if you're looking to upgrade and have a great experience accessing some of these services, the Apple TV 4K is the way to go. And definitely get the 4K, because sooner or later you're going to invest in a 4K TV. You just have to. It's just, at some point they're not going to be available in anything less than 4K, other than maybe a small one for the bedroom. So, yeah. So that's my first round pick. Brittany, take us into round two.
All right. I thought I could put this one off, but now there's a yoga instructor here that's legit. So I've been obsessed with these yoga pants. I don't know how you pronounce their name. It's IUGA. That's not my pick, because you never buy yoga pants as a gift unless someone has explicitly asked. But I own like 20 pairs of the yoga pants. But then I discovered the same brand makes yoga pants that are really business casual pants. And I'm obsessed with them, and I can show you them. I'm wearing one pair. I have another pair right here. They look professional and awesome, and they're super comfortable, and there's no reason for any woman to wear any other pants ever again.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about that, Chuck?
Thanks for helping me out there, Mike.
I'm so glad you're here, Elle.
So Brittany, explain to us. Now, Brittany and I have a history with yoga pants that we will not get into here. That's kind of hard to explain, but
so much more torrid when you put it that way.
Because Chuck,
Yeah, well-
you're not supposed to just wear them to sit around and drink coffee, and that's the
what makes these business casual yoga pants? Now I'm serious. Different from regular yoga pants. Is it they are looser? Is it the cut?
They look
Is
like
it the
dress
style?
pants, but they're
Okay.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have 4 pockets.
Oh,
okay.
the pockets are huge.
They're not necessarily huge, but they do fit my 10S here.
No, I mean they're okay, not huge pockets, but I mean they're it's a
Adequate?
big deal.
Oh,
to have
yes.
pockets. Yeah.
Yes. Have pockets that you can actually wear.
Because I wear something similar all the time, but without pockets. So now I'll be looking at your link because that would be a big deal. But
And the regular yoga pants have pockets too, and those are big, and they have like an AirPods one up front. I think it's for your house key, but they're for AirPods.
Yeah.
And then 2 on the side, and I can actually put 1 phone in each pocket because I'm crazy like that.
Yeah.
I think they're spectacular.
Oh, it's awesome that they started making clothing that is that comfortable, that looks professional. Yeah.
Yeah. We hear ads on podcasts all the time for these men's clothes that are professional looking and are comfortable, and it's not fair. So that's my pick.
Okay, well, hey, we've never had yoga pants picked on any Mac Jury or gift guide or MacVoices gift guide ever. So good job. Good job. I'm kind of anxious now to look at the link myself just to see what I'm missing. Yeah. Wow. Elle, help me out. Get me out of this.
Flustering
I think
Chuck
it's
is one of my
Mike's turn.
favorite things.
Yeah.
I know you'll just be looking at the link for gifts.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help, Chuck. I think we should move on.
You're not, Elle. You're not helping at all.
It's-
Uh,
Is
All
it me? Is that why you're
yeah, go
Oh.
for it. Well,
okay? I see. That's why you're looking at me.
yes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stick with that theme, but instead of yoga pants or professional pants that are as comfortable as yoga pants, my pick is also for well, I was going to say women, but really anyone who would wear a dress. And it's called Nuu Muu, not to be confused with like the big baggy Moo Moos of the past. Nuumuu. And it's a dress that's meant for like exercise. So I could use it to teach yoga in. Or travel. It's very comfortable. I wear them. They're kind of my uniform, not on days where there's inversions or we're doing handstands or anything like that. Definitely. I have to wear something that can get tucked into pants, right? But any other day, especially ones where I am teaching and then maybe going to a networking meeting or am going back and forth in my life, they're needed. They're so comfortable. And I'm not sure I'm going to like be brave enough to stand up and have you guys look at it, but I am, I am wearing one today. They fit under anything. So but again, I was going to say, like, is this safe for a gift? And here's why I think it is. The company it's a women's run company in Bellingham, Washington, and they do an awesome job finding a basic fit that I have yet to meet a woman that's actually tried them and just doesn't like them. I've met women that go like, I don't like the idea of it. That's not your target. But they're really comfortable. If you're scared about the sizing thing, get a gift card. Again, if people already have them, they'll want more. I think it would be a really good gift. Any questions or comments now that the men are scared?
No,
We terrified them.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, I think this is interesting from a tech standpoint and a not tech standpoint.
Well,
the guys,
yes. Sorry.
yeah,
I've been buying clothes for my wife as a gift for a long time.
You've avoided it?
Yeah, I've given up on that long time ago.
Well, maybe this will change it for you.
This time you can blame us.
All right.
Yeah. I will say that the company, I mean, yeah, you can blame it. She's met me. Totally just blame it on me.
She is into yoga, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I'm always on the lookout for clothing that's actually comfortable, that even when I'm not teaching or about to be in a class, I can stretch out. And you guys know, well, a couple of you know me from like Yoga for Nerds or yoga or body hacks, like ways to take care of yourself on a quick break. And it's easier to do that if you're wearing something comfortable that you can move in a little bit. It's possible in like a suit with a belt, but we have to be a lot more creative about how you could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean we're having a lot of fun here and laughing about it, but I think it is interesting that you both are focusing on comfort, style, function, of clothing. It's something that seems to be missing from the women's design area, where they tend to stick with certain designs and that's kind of it. And it sounds like you're both finding ways around that. I appreciate that. I like that.
I wanted to ask,
pockets.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they do. It's in, you can get them with pockets or without, but why would you get them without? And it's right in back. So you have to kind of reach around and grab it.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is you can put stuff in there and it's not going to like mess up the line. It won't look funky anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're going to put your keys, don't like sit down really hard. But, yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting pick. Mike, round 2.
All right. I'll pick another tech gadget. I just wrote about this for the suite setup, but I bought an Xsonic is the company. They make a guitar pedal called an Xtone, which looks like a standard guitar pedal. It's got 3 metal foot switches that when you hook this up to your Mac or your iOS device, you can program. So it is a insanely fast, high quality audio interface, essentially a MIDI interface that I have it actually on my pedal board. And I have the USB running to my iPad. So I bring this, and when I play on the worship team at church, I play live through my iPad. I hook it up to my iPad, and there's no latency, no noticeable latency anyways, from the signal when you send it to your iPad, get the effects applied to it, send it back to the pedal, and then into the house PA, which I've tried a lot of different things in the past. There has always been too much latency for that to work. Or I've bought something by a company and then they stop updating the app. And then basically the floorboard that I bought is a piece of junk because it can't work without the app. So this is just a hardware box that can send audio to your iPad and back really fast. And if the app that you're using flakes out, you can switch apps. It does come with a coupon code for the Jam Up Pro, which allows you to apply all like the distortion and the modulation and a delay. I use it with an app called Bias FX. So this isn't part of the pick, but just to give you a little bit of a picture of how I use this. Bias FX allows you to like digitally lay out your whole floorboard. You can program the switches. There's 3 different banks. So essentially 9 different things that you can activate, either like presets for your whole floorboard and amp simulation setup, or just turning a single effect on and off. It's got an expression pedal support, so I can control like a wah or a volume, again, from my floorboard, but through the iPad. And so this, even though it's got 3 switches, you can program 9 different things. It's kind of a guitar nerd's dream come true because the software has gotten so good that you can do like a lot of different things. With Bias FX, there's another app called Bias Amp that allows you to get in and play with like all the different tubes in the standard, analog amps that they're trying to emulate. So you can really kind of tweak your sound and get it just the way that you want it. But this interface, I can't speak highly enough of. I gave up on playing live through my iPad a long time ago, and then when this came on my radar, I'm like, there's no way this is going to work. It does work. And it's not too bad. It's like $150. I got it off of Amazon. But if you have a guitar player who is also an Apple nerd, they might really like this.
So it connects via the Lightning port? It's
a USB connection on the pedal itself. And then I have that converted to a USB-C for my iPad Pro. It does actually come in the box. It comes with a camera connection kit. So you can hook it up to a Lightning device if you want to without having to buy any dongles.
Got it. So whatever iPad you have, as long as it can run the software.
Yep.
Got it.
And it also will power the pedal via USB. So you don't have to have a separate wall wart connected to the pedal itself.
Interesting. And you said you have no latency, which would be the big issue here.
Yeah. So no latency even when playing live with the rest of the worship team. So I guess you could say I've been gigging with it for a couple of months. Sounds kind of weird to use it in a church context, but I have been playing live with it with a band, a standard rock band, a couple of electric guitars, keys, drums, bass, the whole 9 yards, and it gives me complete control over my sound.
Yeah, I'm not a guitar player. I'm not a musician of any kind, but I see those things, and you see the iPad gadgets for them, and you wonder, how much of this, because really a lot of this stuff is just digital signal processing or analog signal processing, and how much could an iPad be pressed into service? And it sounds like very effectively.
Yeah, it's never going to get 100% there compared to pure analog tone, but it gives me a bunch of additional benefits. It gives me the ability to bring a little pedal along back and forth as opposed to a whole bunch of stuff. And it gives me a lot more options. And it allows me to take it anywhere, really. I can, without having to hook a whole bunch of stuff up at home, take out my guitar and practice really, really easily with this. I've even got an interface on my Mac where I can load up a song via Apple Music and play along with it through the studio monitors that are on my desk. So you can play along with some of your favorite songs. And there's ways you can hack that, on your device itself too. But I don't know. It's just it kind of has changed my whole paradigm about how I play guitar. And by making it much easier, it also makes it a lot easier to practice. So I'm more consistent with it, and I'm getting better because of this setup.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So convenience is even a factor, and
exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very nice. Very good pick. So let's see. I get to wrap up round 2. Okay, I'm going to go tech, and folks, I have entirely too many speakers in my home. All right, I seem to have a speaker for everything. But I'm going to recommend that you take a good hard look at the JBL Flip 5. Now, I've recommended some of the flips in the past, but each year JBL iterates on it and seems to make it better. And each year, I think it can't get any better, and each year it just seems to get marginally better. So if you're going to go out and you need a portable Bluetooth speaker that doesn't take up a lot of space, you can buy bigger ones, and JBL certainly makes them. But I really like this. I like this for travel. But and I feel comfortable saying it in this crew because I hate to waste any time at all. And so the Flip 5 is my favorite shower speaker because I can play music when I'm in the shower. I can use an app called Tunity which will let me select a TV channel that's on TV and tunes it in and feeds the audio, not from the TV, but through the Tunity app. It recognizes what network I'm watching and then feeds the audio into the speaker. So with a slight delay, but that means that I can listen to morning news from the TV in the shower, then get out and, they're still doing the same news as opposed to, TV or a radio and that kind of thing. But this speaker sounds great. It's got this year's version is, I think, delivers a little more bass. Probably delivers a little more volume too, but it's just a nice, solid little speaker that's about $125. You can throw it in your bag or your pack, and you're not going to really notice it. You can definitely throw it in your luggage, and you absolutely won't notice it. So if you're in the market for that kind of thing, oh yeah, and obviously it's waterproof if it's in the shower with me. So yeah, really, really nice speaker. JBL does some great stuff, and this is my favorite speaker of their lineup. So anybody else
awesome
listen to anything in the shower? Or am I just the only one that I just hate to waste all that time not enjoying something?
Yeah.
Podcast?
Got to be productive.
Yeah, exactly. What was that discussion we were having pre-show about needing to step back? Nah.
Although I've also heard it recommended to do your morning meditation in the shower. I sort of need the podcast to even get in, and then I can turn it off if I need to.
Okay.
Experiment.
Yes, exactly. Whatever works for you.
Just don't close your eyes, maybe. Like like the standing meditations.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to say, why not? Because you're in a shower. Where are you going to go? But okay, good point.
Well, I just meant I'm pretty clumsy, so I could see that being dangerous. But yeah.
Okay.
Smile makes a variety of flavors of their PDF editing utility, PDF Pen, to suit just about any audience and their needs. PDF Pen and PDF Pen Pro 11.2 make it easier to edit contents in table cells while preserving the table's formatting. That makes editing things like PDFs of financial statements, measurements and recipes, sales data, and much more even easier. And those are just the latest additions to all the features that you know and love in PDF Pen and PDF Pen Pro. Features like secure redacting, table of contents, bookmarks, and more. For the iPhone and iPad user, PDF Pen 5.1 has multiple windows for multitasking on the iPad, dark mode, stationary options, and all the features you would expect Smile to pack into one of the best utilities for Apple mobile devices. And those are just the latest in the long list of improvements and features that Smile is constantly adding to. If you need a feature, the odds are it's already there. If not, ask Smile. They're probably already working on it. You can visit smilesoftware.com right now to learn more and download demo versions to find out just how useful and powerful PDF Pen and PDF Pen Pro are. That's PDF Pen and PDF Pen Pro from Smile at smilesoftware.com, the makers of world-class software. Thanks to Smile for their ongoing support of MacVoices.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of round 2. So that means we're halfway through. And so now it's time to evaluate some of your picks if they haven't been stolen, Mike, and see what you're going to bring up next. Brittany, take us into round 3.
Okay, this is purely aspirational. I have wanted this forever, a bicycle desk. I can't recommend it. I haven't bought one, but it's been on my wish list for about 3 years. I want to work. It's really good for cognition, perform better on tasks, more creative ideas while moving, but sometimes you have to be at your Mac and not on an iPad. It's just something I want.
Okay.
I'm curious, why would you want a bicycle desk over the treadmill desks?
Oh, ideally I'd have both.
Okay.
But I can do walking on, assuming it's not raining, because I live in Portland. Assuming it's not raining, I can walk around with the iPad and do some work on my iPad. So then I'm getting different movement in.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
That's a cool idea. I've never heard of that before. I've heard of the walking desks, but
I also can do work on the elliptical on my iPad. So that's the exercise I don't have covered right now. So
yeah. Okay. That totally makes sense. I just wanted to see if there was something I was missing about why there would be better for it to be bikes.
I just want more variety in my workouts.
I get that.
Well, and Mike, I'm with you. This is something new. I've heard of the walking desks. I've obviously heard of the standing desks. I've never heard of a bicycle desk. So
I hadn't, but the more I think about it, that's totally something I would use too. I mean, I hurt my knee when I was running a half marathon a couple of years ago, and one of the things that the physical therapist told me was, you need to bike, you need to lift legs. And it's not something I really ever did before, but now I consistently make sure that I'm cycling every week. And it would be great to not have to go to the gym to do that. If I could do that while I'm reviewing a podcast
And the best thing for health is not to do one thing all the time.
Yeah.
Like you want to be standing part-time, you want to be sitting part-time, you want to be moving part-time. And if you can vary your movement, all the better. So
totally
that's my base that's not covered.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I love these gift guides because you never know where it's going to go. And first of all, I always learn things, and second, they always cost me money. So I don't know if a bicycle desk is in my future, but I like the idea. Elle, what do you have for round 2? Round three. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I confused you. Round 3.
Maybe an abacus for you? No.
Wow.
Or for myself, so I can keep track. Yeah. All right. So this round is for if you're giving a gift to somebody that does actually take a break and at least long enough to play, or if you have some young kind of geeky, nerdy people in your lives that might just be into something fun. And it is sort of like this, they're models, but instead of like building the models with glue and painting, it's all metal, and it's called Metal Earth. And I don't know if you guys have heard of this. I hadn't. I have some really good friends that own an amazing toy store, and I've been filling in for them on Sundays. So I could fill this whole thing up with toys, but I've limited it to one that I thought might be kind of appropriate. So the geeky part of it is, instead of it just being like cars and airplanes and like traditional model sets, you can get Star Wars and Star Trek and Harry Potter and a whole bunch of stuff. So it's I didn't bring one to show just because I'm buying presents for other people first, and then I'll buy my own Christmas presents. But they look really fun, and for the right person, it could be a good break. And you'd still be doing something, so you might feel productive. I don't know. It's like
doing stuff with your hands is really important.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
It's a good break.
You said Star Wars, and Brittany just lit up.
Hey, she said Star Trek too.
I did.
But you lit up at Star Wars, Brittany. Don't.
Yeah.
So
we all know which one's superior.
No, let's not start that fight here, Mike.
What did you say, Mike?
So we all know which one is superior.
Oh, I don't know which one you thought was superior. So
by Chuck's reaction, we know.
I just know that depending on the audience, that can really go bad real quick.
So,
yeah. So Elle, you said this. I mean, should this be considered a toy, or is this?
So I went and checked their website in preparation for this, podcast to be able to report accurately. They say 14 or above. So I guess it is a toy, but what it produces, they're very cool looking. So it's more like the type. I'm sure there would be other adults that build models. I might be the only one, but yes, you've heard they've got to be out there.
Oh, sure.
But so, I mean, you just want, like you would need to use like needle nose pliers or things like that to build it. So I think, and be able to like follow directions, but there's no gluing, cutting. It's all kind of snapping them together and following directions there.
No,
Go look at the website at least. It's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think that could be educational. It could be, from a productivity standpoint, you know, if age is 14 and up, I know plenty of over 14-year-olds, over 20-year-olds, over 30-year-olds that could really use some help in learning how to follow directions.
Right. So. This is a fun way to learn how to follow directions. And for those of us that spend so much of our time working and living like in our heads, doing something with your hands, it is actually really important for our brains and our minds and to reset. So if you need to categorize it as something productive and moving you forward, then I can send you some research on that.
As a cognitive neuroscience, I can vouch for these claims.
But for like everyone else who doesn't need to like spend some time reading research on why play is good, it just
Good. Thank you. I'm looking forward to at least looking at it, if nothing else.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting, like the price range isn't so huge that it has to be a serious investment. It could be like, I really like you, but we're not exchanging $100 gifts at this point in our relationship. Yeah.
Okay. Mike, what do you got for round 3?
I will stick with the play theme.
Awesome.
Do you remember back in the day doing the text adventures on the VGA monitors with just like the lines of text, maybe one image, like go north, pick up key, that sort of thing?
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay. Well, there is a book called Parsley. This was a Kickstarter written by Jared Sorensen, I believe. And it is a series of text adventures that you can do in a group with people. And I'll try to show kind of what this looks like. But basically, there's one person who has the book and they are the parser. So you pick an adventure like Jungle Adventure, which is, this one, and there's a map of all the stuff that's in there. And then it's got like the script, and it says, you wake up to find yourself buckled into the pilot's chair of a single engine prop plane. Through the cockpit window, you can see the deep jungle. There's a backpack here. And then based on what they do, it tells you like what the options are and what pages to go to. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. And you do this with a group of people and you get a score at the end based on, well, whether you won and whether you hit all of the checkpoints and things like that. If you've listened to the Cortex podcast at all, they have a Relay FM members episode that they do every year where Mike and Gray go through a text adventure from this book, and Jason Snell is the parser. But it's super fun to do this in a group, even if it's not a bunch of nerds. Like my kids actually really enjoy this. Like, hey, Dad, can we do a text adventure?
Awesome.
So it's really cool, and it's a thing that you can do with a group of people.
Cool.
Yeah, I tried. I guess I'm not. I know I'm not much of a gamer, but I do remember trying some of those text adventures, and it is intriguing because it's kind of forcing your imagination to take you wherever, even though you're still just getting the same basic directions: left, right, up, down, whatever. So. Yeah. Some of these are fairly complex, and it's kind of interesting. Like there's rules and parameters for the parser. So once they do something and maybe they die and they have to load from their previous save point, and then they have to go redo all the things that they did, just like the old text adventure. You can't skip ahead, so when they say, go do the thing, and the computer, the parser response is like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Nice.
Interesting. Good pick. So I don't have anything for a play theme. I guess I'm no fun, but I don't have anything for a play theme.
You're too productive.
So you technically were playing your music and TV shows out of the speaker.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. She rescued me. But I'm going to go with yeah, I'm going to go with a non-tech gift because I usually don't do non-tech gifts, but this was delivered yesterday, and I want to share it. I'm a barbecue fan. I don't know if you are, and if you don't eat meat, that's cool. That's fine. I do, and so and the bottled barbecue sauces just don't make it. Okay, with one exception, and that's this exception right here. This is Rudy's barbecue sauce.
It's giant.
It is giant. Yes, I got the giant economy version. This is really great barbecue sauce. If you go to rudysbarbecue.com, you can order it. You can also see they offer smoked meats and all kind of things you can get. There is an actual Rudy's restaurant in Austin. I've never been there. That's one of my aspirations is to go to Austin and eat at Rudy's. But somebody recommended this barbecue sauce to me, and it's like, yeah, fine, whatever. They send me a bottle, and I've been hooked ever since. So it's absolutely something subjective. But I would tell you that if you like barbecue sauce, at least get a small bottle or the smallest bottle you can and give this a try. I think you will really like it. It's very savory. It's not necessarily hot, but it is definitely spicy. So just if instead of sending fruit or something this year, send Rudy's barbecue sauce to someone you love.
Yeah.
Having received a barbecue sauce as a gift previously, I can tell you it is a good gift.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have a testimonial.
If you get to Austin, the place you want to go is Franklin's, not Rudy's. But
Okay. Well, and we're about, we could embark on a big debate as to whether sauce really makes the barbecue or whether it's the smoke that makes the barbecue. But if you're into the sauce thing, Rudy's is. I will definitely hit Franklin's when I get to Austin, but the sauce Rudy's right now is my top.
Good to know.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this is round 4. This is where we get to wrap up, and I don't know if you're saving for a big finish or you've blown your big finish and are just going to pick something subtle. I don't know. So let's find out. Brittany?
Subtle doesn't sound like me. So Star Wars has never been bigger than right now. It's very popular. Mandalorian, Rise of Skywalker, Galaxy's Edge. It's a very big year for Star Wars. But for my pick, I'd like to take a step back at all of the times that they failed miserably. So I'm recommending Star Wars Gag Gifts. These include, and I have links for all of these, 2 different sets of options of Jar Jar Binks cufflinks. 1 you can customize with the date of your wedding. A Thalia Siren t-shirt that is a trucker girl mud flap. In case you don't remember, that is the thing that in Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker grabbed a bottle and drank the milk from it. That's what that is. But it's on a mud flap like a trucker girl. And riff tracks. They have a whole collection of Star Wars riffs, which is the only way to watch the prequels. It is literally the only way I've ever seen Attack of the Clones. And eBay is filled with so many of these things. I got this recently. It is a Wookiee storybook, and it is horrible and delightful. And yeah, I have links to that too.
That's amazing.
So Star Wars Gag Gifts. Yeah.
Is the Wookiee storybook as delightfully awful as the Star Wars Christmas special?
So it's based off of that because it's the same Chewbacca's family.
Yeah.
The one improvement is that Itchy looks less horrifying and cartoon than in live action. You don't want to vomit quite as much, but it does introduce the incredible offensive idea of Wookiees having thought waves that they communicate with across light years.
Okay.
It's terrible and just awesome.
Yeah. I can't wait.
My client recommended I get it, and so I did.
This is expensive.
I'm kind of
I-
speechless. I don't know.
Expense, absolutely.
I got it in a package of a bunch of other old Star Wars books. So it was a very good investment for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was probably $15 for all of them.
Awesome.
I knew something Star Wars was going to sneak in here from you, Brittany. There was no doubt in my mind.
Kelly would never let me live it down if I didn't.
Yeah, good point. Good point. All right. Elle, what are you closing with?
Gosh, this is not thematic at all. But it would make a really good gift. And that would be it's August Tea. The company is called August Tea Company, and they even have like gift packages already set up for you. And here's the thing to know. I am super, super picky about tea. And and usually in the past, I've just scorned any mixtures, like if it's like black tea that has other like flavorings and stuff in it. Not because I'm just being a jerk, but just because it always would taste bad to me. It would be like you took some good tea and then like put some other crap in it. But I found out that that's because it was a lot of times that's artificial flavoring, and it was just things that were not great. And August does such a great job. Like you can, I mean, if you need all organic, you can do that, but you don't have to. You can search it by, if you have somebody in your life that has like food sensitivities and you don't know what to get them, you can like actually search their sites by like, this person needs to avoid these things. You can search by flavor. All of them that I've tried so far taste really good, and they're really fun combinations of things that I wouldn't expect. Like black tea with chocolate. Okay, I would expect that. But then like some caraway seeds, like I got it just to see what it would be like, and it's one of my standbys now. But yeah, so that's my last gift for your tea drinkers or want to be tea drinkers.
Okay, good. I'm glad somebody else picked a food stuff of some kind. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, I mean, and food is good gifts because you can, like, it eventually goes away, right? If people don't. You're not giving, if you have a lot of people in your life that have so much stuff.
There's no clutter guilt.
Yeah, you're not contributing.
Yeah. I think John Martellero on Daily Observations just said it has a high utilization factor.
Yeah.
So
that's a very John way to put it.
Yeah, I'd never thought of it exactly that way, but it is. It's a real good point. Yeah. Okay, good, Elle. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mike, what are you wrapping up with?
I've also got a food gift. I am not a tea snob, but I am definitely a coffee snob.
Awesome.
To the point that when I travel, I bring my own pour over gear. So a couple of years ago, for example, when we came to Macstock, I brought my electric kettle, I brought my Chemex, I brought my scale, and I brought my grinder. Like, that's a lot of stuff. So that started me on the search for a smaller version of all of that stuff where I can still grind my premium beans fresh, make my coffee, and this is something I can just throw in my suitcase and take with me. So I have discovered and have purchased the Cafflano. It is it's a tumbler cup, so that's where the pour over drips down into, and then there's a little metal filter dripper that sticks on top of that. On top of that is a screw-on ceramic burr grinder, and then the very top of the thing actually has a little hole near the top where you would unscrew it, so you can use it as a drip kettle. So the only thing you don't have with this is the hot water. But you can just, in this one thermos style thing, you can grind your beans, you can do the pour over method with the so you can control the pour, and then you end up with the fresh made coffee in the thermos with a special top on it that you can just take with you. The one caveat I will throw out there with this: which I found out after I traveled with this, is that if you're going through the airport, the burr grinder can look like a bomb. So I found this out. I found this out the hard way. I was actually going to Austin, and they pulled my bag off. I have pre-check, so that I don't have to have them open up my stuff. But they pulled it off anyway. They're going through everything, and then the one guy's going through with the white gloves very carefully. He gets to my coffee gear. Guy behind him is kind of like looking over his shoulder, and all of a sudden goes, "Code Bravo, Code Bravo," and everybody just like gets up and walks towards the tarmac, and I'm like, "Ooh. What did I do?" So I pull up my phone, Google Code Bravo while I'm sitting there by my luggage that has now been abandoned. Apparently, it's a terrorist suspect, so it was nothing to do with me, but definitely freaked me out. And then we came back. I asked, like, "Well, why did this get pulled off?" And he's like, "Well, this coffee stuff kind of looks like a bomb in the X-ray machine." But other than that, this is. So if you don't have to fly with it, it's awesome. Right. They even make like little stands for it. So this could be like your whole home setup if you don't mind like manually grinding the beans every day. But it's a really compact little thing, and it really does make a good cup of coffee.
Awesome.
I want to know when you're flying home from MacStock next time, Mike, so I can go to the other lane.
Only happened once.
Yeah. Have you flown with it more than once, and that only happened once?
Yeah. Well, flying out of Wisconsin, the airports aren't real big here, so they don't really care. But depending where you're flying into, on the way home, they can be a little bit more picky about stuff.
Yeah, sure. Oh, sure. Interesting.
To be honest, I don't fly that much. I do drive places fairly often, so I'll throw it in my bag when I'm doing that. Never think twice about it.
Good. Well, I'm going to finish up small. This sort of has a little bit of a story. I went to order my Apple Watch 5, and for the first time noticed that the leather band that I had on my previous Apple Watch, which has been with me since the very first Apple Watch, had a bit of a tear in it. And it was just a matter of time before that tear went the whole way through and, it drops off my wrist somewhere. And I get a new band with the Apple Watch 5, but I wasn't anxious to spend that kind of money for it or wait to get the new Apple Watch 5 and, not be able to wear my 4. So I went on Amazon and started looking around and basically ordered pretty much the cheapest watch band I could find just to hold me over. And I ended up loving it. And this is it. It's one of the ones that looks like one of the mesh. It's one of the mesh bands. Of course, it's metal. You have that too. But this cost me a grand total of $4.99. And I liked it so much to my surprise, because I was never a big fan of the Milanese loop. But much to my surprise, I liked it so much that the new band that came with the Apple Watch 5 is still in the case, and I'm wearing this. And I was hesitant because, what's the quality going to be like? How's it going to be? All that. And I thought for $5, it'll get me through, and I can find out. This one is by Enya. This is a 42. It comes in 42 and 44 millimeters. It comes in a whole lot of different colors. I'm not even going to try to say them all because it seems to shift back and forth. But I can tell you that there are a million watch bands on Amazon that come from third parties. But the Enya I really, really liked. So I ordered a second one actually. Just because I liked it that much and wanted to have it as a backup. So if you want to start playing with third-party Apple Watch bands, that's a good place to start, just because I can tell you from experience that it is good. The only little issue I've had, and I don't know if this is also true of the Milanese loop that Apple produces, but the way it wraps around my particular wrist, the little magnet here ends up on the bottom. And so as a result, if you're not careful, it can pick up silverware, pens, all kind of things. So you kind of have to be careful that you're not shoplifting something unintentionally. But other than that, I've absolutely been kind of amazed and delighted at how much I liked it. And it's held up very, very well. No rough edges, doesn't catch on clothing or anything like that. And that was a really big concern as far as the Milanese loop went. So if you're in the market for a watch band or just want to experiment or just need a stocking stuffer for someone in your life who has an Apple Watch, the Enya watch bands are a good place to start.
I've always avoided the metal watch bands because I'm scared that they're going to scratch up my MacBook. Is that an issue with the magnet being on the bottom?
It's not the magnet as much as the edge, but I don't actually see any scratches on mine, and it does touch all the time.
I'm trying. Why would that scratch my MacBook?
Because when you rest on the edge.
If you move your wrists at all when you type, you got metal scratching on metal potentially.
The corner looks slightly rougher on my left side than the right, but I wouldn't have noticed if you hadn't asked.
All right.
Yeah, and I guess
I've been using these for years.
Yeah, and the way I position my hands, Mike, I guess I've never even thought about that issue.
Well, it's really only an issue on a MacBook where the keyboard is flat. You've got the metal surface. If you're using a desktop, you've got not really a big deal.
Well, but I use my MacBook Pro is my daily driver, so I use it all the time, and I've never had
an issue for you then with that one.
I've got to go and think about it, but no.
And again, probably I've been using this for years and the same MacBook for years, and I don't see that much on it.
Yeah, interesting concern. I'm glad you brought it up. Guys, that has to be, I don't think there's going to be any other panel this year or probably any other year that's going to be as diverse or as crazy as this panel is. It was absolutely a lot of fun, and I really appreciate you being here. And I want to make sure we let people know where they can find you when you're not here, sharing your ideas for gifts. So we'll keep the order one more time. Brittany, where can folks get in touch with you?
If you're looking on Twitter, it's ADD Liberator. And if you're looking for my website, it's conquer.consulting. And the aforementioned yoga video is Jedi Yoga.
Awesome.
You really should go and look at the Jedi Yoga thing. Yeah.
It's mostly a yoga video with terrible jokes.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for being here, Brittany, and happy holidays.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Yeah. Elle?
Well, I was going to say this is I kind of want to use that as my new class description, mostly a regular yoga class with terrible jokes. Yes. So if people are looking for me on Twitter, Elle Maureen. So just ELLEMOREEN. And otherwise, my website is just my name, ellenewman.com.
Great. So. Elle, thanks for being here. Happy holidays. Hope you have a great one.
Thanks for having me, Chuck. This was so much fun.
Oh, it was. The laughs are what make it the best. No question.
Yeah, well, and I have some new gift ideas. So that's... I have new gift ideas for people in my life. So that's a bonus for me.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here
for most of you.
Yeah. Mike, where can they find you now?
The podcasts are Focused, which is on the Relay Network, and bookworm.fm. The writing is at The Sweet Setup, and my personal site is MikeSchmitz.me. Twitter, I am at Bobblehead Joe because Mike Schmitz is always taken.
I like that. I like someone that has one of those names that seems to be ungoogleable, and they come up with something unique. So good job.
It's an Office reference. I think it's a name that Jim gave Dwight at one point.
Oh, okay. Was not an Office fan, so have no idea. But any way you take it, still we can find you. Thanks so much to you, and happy holidays as well.
Thank you. You as well.
We'll do it again, everyone. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices. Hope you got something out of this. I know I certainly did. I think they spent some of my money again. And I've got new ideas for the women in my life to give, which I really am kind of desperate about because I'm tired of giving just the same old thing. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.